Welcome back everyone to Cooking with Frenchy, cooking and baking made easy. I know it has been a while and I'm back. So for this week's recipe, it's very easy. It's no recordings that I did and put it back together. It's about cooking some meat and a dish that you can do with the entire family and get the kids into it. I'm going to show you how to prepare meatballs, how to cook them, and put it together as a dish with my beautiful recipe of pasta. So in this video you are going to see how I'm making my proper meatball, but you can have a link under the description for the amount of ingredients for the meatball, but also I'll put the link for the pasta dough I made ages ago, as well as my beautiful Nonna tomato sauce recipe. So you must go and check both of them, or the 3 recipes as well, and like this you will have this beautiful dish ready for you. However, you don't need to make your own tomato sauce if you want to. You don't need to make your own pasta if you don't want to. You just need to get some mince, few spices, a little bit of fresh herbs, a little bit of sun-dried tomatoes, and you will have an amazing dish ready for you. So before you go, don't forget to, as usual, subscribe. Also change your notification bell setting, put a comment, share it on all your social media, and I catch you at another recipe, hopefully next week. Bye. I do have my mince from the butcher, nice and fresh, and I took here so a bit of a basil from the garden. I also have a bit of parsley from the garden, fresh thyme. I love my thyme, and here are some maybe herbs you haven't seen before or not often. It's called chervil. We call it cerfeuil in French, and that's what we got. So I'm also going to use a little bit of hot paprika for it. And if you saw my little post before video, I did some sun-dried tomatoes too, just to give a bit of flavor to my mince. So what I'm going to do first is to chop my herbs, but there's one item in cooking with meatballs that people will love. It's garlic. So as I showed you before in one of the video I really cut my garlic cloves in half, and really take off that little, what I call a germ, but I think you call it a stem. I'll take that out. As I said before, it's what makes people not be able to digest garlic, and garlic repeat on themselves. So it's really annoying for some people, so therefore I remove it. So what I'm going to do now is to give a bit of a bashing to my garlic. So you bash it or you bruise it, up to you. And because I'm chopping everything to really mince everything into my mince there, I can grab all the herbs together, so which I'm doing now. And I'm grabbing everything together and like as a tight, really tight bundle, and I'm just, as I said, the finger, the blades against the finger, and just keeping all the items and ingredients together, and pretty much chop at the same spot. As I chop, it releases more of the herbs, it moves the garlic a little bit, and therefore is chopping to a fine mixture. So as I mentioned earlier in another videos and I did, here you're slicing, putting your knife in the claw and the blades, and here you're chopping. So now I'm quite happy with it, I'm just going to put this into my mince. Right, I'm going to cut a little bit of my sun-dried tomatoes I did earlier. So this I'm using a dehydrator for it, and I chop my tomato. Same. I'm going to add half a teaspoon of my hot paprika. So about that. And a little bit of salt and pepper to it. You can use your bare hands, you can use glove. It's up to you how you feel with touching meat. So personally, I like the feel of touching meat with my bare hands. I'm not adding any breadcrumbs. I'm not adding any eggs into it. The protein of the meat will make those meatballs bind together. It doesn't need any extra. With your hands, just give it a bit of a swirl when you press and mix together, as well as turning the bowl. Like this, you're really mixing all together. I can use this mince as well for stuffing. If you are doing a mince pie, to do the mince pie, I'm gonna use it as well for meatball today, but I'm also gonna use some of that mixture later on for another recipe where I'm gonna stuff some yellow capsicum with it. So we give a really good meat, good mix to the mince. And after, depending on what you want to do, how big you want a meatball. I don't really like to have a meatball that you're going to have 2 or 3 bites at it. So I'd rather to have a meatball about this size. And place them on a tray. Or on the plate as I do now. You can make them a few hours in advance. Keep it in the fridge. You can make a lot in advance and freeze them if you wish to. Voila, meatballs.
Now that your meatballs are ready, just take a nice fry pan, put some olive oil and a little bit of butter. When your butter and olive oil is hot, just drop your meatballs and keep a bit of space between them. Cook them for about a minute on one side, just to caramelize and give a bit of color to the meatball, and turn them around and cook them on the other side, just for another minute. Shut down the heat and leave it there. Add your tomato sauce to it and let it warm up gently, just like so. Meanwhile, you can pour some hot water with a little bit of salt inside to cook your pasta. Double check if it's nice and salty. Drop your fresh pasta. Please check my recipe for homemade and handmade pasta. They only cook for 2 to 3 minutes when you make them fresh. Check if they are al dente, drain them, and in a large bowl with a bit of your tomato sauce that you have warmed up, or you can take from the meat bowl if you want, just toss your pasta into the bowl and let it soak in for about a minute. That will give a beautiful flavor to your pasta, and just plate as you like it. Bit of Parmesan cheese and enjoy. Thank you for watching. I hope you had a good time with me, and see you for my next recipe next week. Bye.